In the heart of global finance, there exists a name few truly understand, yet it shapes the fate of nations: BlackRock. Born in the late 1980s, it started as a small risk management firm. But over the decades, it transformed into something far greater: a financial empire managing over $10 trillion in assets. That's more than the GDP of most countries. BlackRock doesn't build products, run factories, or sell to consumers. It owns pieces of everything, from Apple to Exxon, from governments to the mortgage on your home. And yet, for many, it remains invisible. This is the story of how money became power and how power became control. It began in 1988 when a young financier named Larry Fink wanted to change how Wall Street managed risk. His vision was revolutionary: use technology to analyze markets and predict financial movements before they happened. Through the creation of a system called Aladdin, BlackRock gained something priceless: data. Data on nearly every investment, every asset, every company. That data became insight, and insight became influence. By the early 2000s, BlackRock wasn't just another investment firm. It was becoming the silent backbone of the global financial system.
At the core of BlackRock's empire lies an algorithmic brain, Aladdin. It monitors trillions of dollars in assets, scanning global markets, political events, and even weather patterns to predict risk. Banks, governments, and corporations rely on its guidance. Through Aladdin, BlackRock became a central nervous system of the global economy, quietly pulsing beneath every market move. What once was just software had become something closer to an oracle of money.
In the 2000s, BlackRock began its silent conquest. It acquired competitors, merged with giants, and became a trusted advisor to governments. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, while banks collapsed, BlackRock rose higher. It was hired by the U.S. government to manage the crisis itself, the same system it once helped shape. It became both the doctor and the disease, diagnosing the world's financial wounds while profiting from the cure. Today, BlackRock is everywhere and nowhere. It owns shares in nearly every major corporation on Earth: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Exxon, and hundreds more. It invests in defense, energy, healthcare, housing, and media. When you pay rent, buy medicine, or scroll your phone, a fraction flows back to BlackRock. Ownership without visibility. Influence without elections. A silent shareholder in civilization itself.
Through index funds and ETFs, BlackRock doesn't just invest. It controls voting rights in thousands of corporations. It decides how companies treat workers, handle climate policy, and even respond to political pressure. Its reach extends beyond markets, into culture, technology, and governance. BlackRock's voice echoes in boardrooms across continents, shaping decisions that affect billions. Few realize that in the modern economy, true power lies not in ownership, but in influence. BlackRock advises governments, the US, the EU, and many others. It drafts policies, models debt strategies, and even manages rescue funds. When nations struggle, BlackRock is called to help. But who truly benefits from that help? When a company that profits from markets also guides them, the line between service and control begins to fade. BlackRock presents itself as a champion of sustainability through its ESG, environmental, social, and governance initiatives. It speaks of clean energy, diversity, and ethics.
But behind the slogans, it continues investing in fossil fuels, defense, and surveillance technologies. Critics call it hypocrisy. Others call it strategy. In truth, ESG is not a revolution. It's a rebranding of control.
In the 21st century, information is power, and BlackRock holds the deepest vault of financial data ever assembled. Every risk, every investment, every heartbeat of the economy flows through its systems. It can predict market tremors before they occur. With Aladdin as its brain, the company sees what others cannot and acts before others can.
To the public, it seems BlackRock competes with giants like Vanguard and State Street. But together, they own more than 20% of global corporate value. They are competitors only on paper. In reality, they move in parallel, shaping markets hand in hand. A triangle of influence that quietly dictates the rhythm of global capitalism. Every crisis becomes an opportunity. When markets fall, BlackRock buys. When governments panic, they call BlackRock for help. It thrives in chaos because chaos needs control. From the pandemic to inflation, from war to energy shocks, each new wave of instability strengthens its grip on the system. Some politicians and activists have begun to speak out. They call BlackRock too big to regulate. They question its ties to the Federal Reserve, to Wall Street, and to world leaders. But even as voices rise, few actions follow, because those who depend on the system cannot easily challenge its architect. BlackRock's reach stretches far beyond America. It invests in China, Europe, Africa, and Latin America, shaping economies, influencing governments, funding infrastructure. To some, it is globalization perfected. To others, it's a new form of economic empire, not built on armies, but on algorithms.
The power once held by kings and governments now lies in algorithms and data systems. BlackRock is not a villain. It is the inevitable product of a system where control follows capital. Its rise forces us to ask a simple question. When one company influences the flow of nearly all money on Earth, who truly rules the world?
In the end, BlackRock is not just a company. It's a mirror of modern civilization. We created a world where money decides direction and data defines destiny. BlackRock didn't seize power. It was given power by every investor, every government, and every one of us who believed markets were neutral. The empire is invisible because it exists in every transaction, every investment, every dream of growth. And as long as we measure success and profit, the empire will never fall.